Tribune Sports Live. I'm Brannon Dawkins, and here with me tonight are the coaches' wives. I'm joined by Chrissy Mauldin and Kelly Schrupp. These are the wives of Jeff Mauldin and Jeff Schrupp. And ladies, I really appreciate y'all being with us tonight. I think this is a great perspective for people to get from you two. Chrissy, let's start with you. We had the opportunity to talk the other day, and you and I spoke about, or you specifically spoke about how special this team is. These boys have been with Jeff since they were able to play high school ball, since his first year here at Hewitt. What was it like watching them 4 years later win this championship?
It was very exciting. We were from Friday's game to Saturday's game. I think at several points during the game we couldn't breathe because we were so excited for those kids. Those kids have worked so hard, and they're just a great group of kids. They have a relationship with each other, and this championship, these kids will be together. They'll have a connection forever. So it was really exciting to get to see all the hard work that those kids have put into it kind of culminate into them winning the game. It was really a surreal moment. It's hard to put that kind of emotion into words because you know how much they've worked for that, and it's really hard to say exactly what we feel other than it's just something that special. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask you about this beforehand, but how about the parents of these guys? What is it like for their parents to watch them do this?
You know, you watch the parents kind of watch their kids play the game, and you know they're focused in on their own kids, but they're also focused in on the team. They're a really great group of parents, and having my own child who plays not at the high school level, I can kind of understand their feeling and their nervousness of that. And we have the best fans. Our parents are great, the fans are great. It was an amazing experience to be able to watch everybody in the community come to Montgomery and cheer us on. And again, I just really can't put it into words. It's hard to explain just the feeling of all of that, and watching those parents watch their kids win that championship and have that moment. Those parents will never forget watching their kids celebrate that. It was just incredible. A great opportunity for them. Let's switch gears a little bit. Kelly, these two gentlemen have been together for 18 years.
That's
since
right.
They were together at Clay Chalkville High School.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than a partnership. We joked outside. It's
Yes.
kind of like a marriage.
Yes.
So what makes this partnership between these two gentlemen so special?
Well, you're right. They have been together for 18 years, and Chrissy and I joke a lot that they're usually the married couple as opposed to us at during baseball season. They are on the phone nonstop. It's almost like they share a brain. The love of the game, the love for their players, their just work ethic, the just time that they put into this is just incredible. And you know, it's just so great to see it pay off. And it's the kids playing the game, but you know that the coaches with their preparation and just the time and effort they put in. I mean, from everything to planning, you know, the games and the schedule to working on the field. I mean, they just touch everything, and it's just amazing to see how they've bonded over 18 years, and then the success that they've had. So it's a very rewarding to be a part of that relationship.
Well, a special partnership and a special result. And so you talked about the other day too how this is a ministry for you and Jeff. For people who didn't get the opportunity to hear that, tell us a little bit more about that and how that impacts these young men.
Well, we started several years ago when we were at Pelham before we came here, having Bible study in our house, and it kind of grew out of a conversation Jeff had with a parent, and we just felt a calling to have these boys come into our home and to have a Bible study with them. And it's a very simple devotion, stresses at school, just different things. But we just really feel like that the Lord gave us an opportunity to use this platform of baseball to help these guys develop into godly men, into godly husbands. And, you know, baseball, like I said before, is just an avenue that we're able to use for that. But at the end of the day, the game of baseball is what we use. But the life lessons in the game are so much greater than just those wins and losses. And, you know, whenever they get thrown out stealing a base, or whenever they strike out, because, you know, baseball is a game of, you know, failure. you failed 2/3 of the time and you're a Hall of Famer. You bat, 333. Well, there's, 666 that you failed. And so using those things and teaching these guys that you're going to fall down in life, there's going to be struggles, but what you do with those struggles, that's what defines you. And so we just really felt a calling to do that with those boys and to have those boys over. And it also lets those kids see Jeff in a different way. They don't really see him as Coach Mauldin. They see him as dad and husband and, just that dynamic of outside of baseball. Because, when they're playing ball, it's business. It's, they have a job to do and, they go at it with full force. But, one of the things we did this year was, they came over and they played Bible study. I mean, we had Bible study, but then they played cornhole outside. They would just go and hang out.
Right.
Just a different element to the game that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the game, but it does.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, great opportunity to build relationships, like
right.
you said, and life skills, and seeing him in a different role. And let's talk about a different role for Coach Schrupp. I don't have kids in the high school. I didn't have to talk to very many people to find out that Coach Schrupp is extremely popular in the classroom, very effective teacher in AP Government and AP World History. How does that impact these students on another level?
That's one of the things that I'm so proud of him. He's a great coach, and he loves the coaching aspect of it. At one point he had gone into administration, but he still wanted to coach, and so it was when he made the decision to go back to the classroom, I was so happy because that's really his calling, and he's just so gifted at reaching the students. And he works really hard in baseball, and he, is always there studying and watching film and just making game plans and, being there for Jeff to make sure he's supporting everything that Jeff has, planned out for every game. But he works as much, if not more, on his classroom. I mean, he is constantly doing things at home to prepare. He has the students writing essays, and of course that means a lot of time to grade them. So, even, and especially during baseball season, having all those games to prepare for and time spent there, but then he comes home and he still has to put together PowerPoints and grade essays and just, make sure his classroom is excelling too. And I mean, he loves the challenge of the AP classes. His students their just desire to learn is so great. He loves that challenge that he can get in there and have those debates with those students. And I mean, he's as competitive in those AP exams as he is in baseball. We were driving back from Minnesota last year when the AP scores came out, and he literally had me get my laptop out, log in the car so I could check his scores to make sure, how they do. So he's just as competitive about wanting them to excel in the classroom as he is on the baseball field. So I'm really proud of him for that, because he could, make the classroom kind of secondary, but he doesn't. That's so important to him.
Well, two fine coaches, two great educators, and just really huge success this year. And so congratulations to both of you, your husbands, and this team of young men. We really appreciate your time, and we'll be back with more.